Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Hi, you forgot the tagline.
Oh, I mean, you know what we're doing here. We're playing a bunch of roguelikes, trying to play as many as we can. This time we're playing Loot River. I'm going to greatly assume we're both playing this on the Series X.
Yes, and remote play in my case too. Which,
Fancy.
minor spoiler alert, don't play this on remote play. It is so small.
It's probably a good piece of advice. Um, I unfortunately didn't get as much time with this week as I wanted to, but this leaves a pretty solid first impression. Um, I
Oh,
gotta
this
say,
is going to be an interesting game.
yeah, I I had to laugh at myself though because it does an okay time with this tutorial. It gives you plenty of time to like scoot all the pieces around the river before you have to fight. And I got grumpy early on because I was like, why do I have to solve a puzzle with all these stupid puzzle pieces? And I was just like, dude, for real? Like they're gonna put these pieces in the game and you're not gonna solve a puzzle with them? Like, come on, man. Um, but so far that stuff seems okay. It's a little weird to control at the beginning with using the right stick to move the pieces around the river. Um, the
Yeah.
the combat seems pretty solid so far. Um,
Oh boy. You go first. You go first. You go
I
first.
my my big my big frustration early on is I wish there were more weapon types available off the bat because you start with like your basic sword and your basic spear. The spear feels bad. I that
Uh-huh.
just that doesn't feel good at all. The parry on the spear feels possibly non-existent. Um, the parry system overall feels uh, initially confusing. Um,
I don't like it.
I wish the game was more. I feel like so many of these games are you hit the parry button as soon as the enemy is about to hit you. And that is very much not this game. You hit the parry button when the three little surprise fries come up above the enemy's head. And that's when you hit the parry button, which is way before the enemy has even started swinging,
Yep.
which makes it hard to read the enemy, especially when there's like three or four things around you and you're just trying to keep an eye on for those three little lines. That can be pretty challenging. I feel like that's going to be the make or break here for probably both of us is how does that system hit us?
Yep. And I don't think I like this game.
Okay. Have you fought the first boss?
Yes. Well, depends on what you mean by the first boss. If you mean get killed that first time, yes.
Okay.
Um,
I have also gotten killed by what I'm assuming like the Soulsborne sort of tutorial boss
tutorial
that
boss.
has to kill you.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, also I spent so much time when you get to the hub area where you talk to all the people. I spent so much time getting confused about not. It's a little confusing when you first start because you go up in an elevator and you get to the hub, and the hub is like also the beginning of the run you just started. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I'll go to the other side of the hub to go start the run. And it's just like, no, that's where you started. It's like, what? Wait, what? So you have to go back to go up the elevator again. It's like, that's not very natural feeling.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know how I feel about the potion guy. Um,
Yeah, I've he's putting a lot of pressure on you as a new player of, hey, you have 4 potions. I'm assuming once you get really great at this game, you can just do the first floor without getting hit. You give him your 4 potions at the beginning, he comes back with you with 8. That's great. But for now, I'm like,
mhm.
no, I need all 4 of these because I am not good at this game yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't like the way the combat feels.
Okay.
I'm torn on the way the game looks.
Yeah, that's going to be. This style is always kind of not controversial, but maybe divisive. I like a lot of how this game looks. I think some of the animations are a little wonky. I think I like when games look like this because you get those the big set pieces. I think that stuff looks really great, like that big stone head in the hub camp area. I think that looks really cool. Like you always get that
Yes.
stuff, but the smaller things, those are the things that engines like this always have a hard time rendering. Like those black creatures you fight. It's like, yeah, I'm
Hmm.
probably fighting 4 of them. I might be fighting 7. I have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am confused by I got like what's it called? It's the very far bumper in your menus tab. It's the very far right one.
Oh, like a spell almost, like a cast.
No, it was like a randomizer kind of thing. Like I picked one up, but then
Oh,
I didn't equip it, so I don't know how it works. I don't
interesting.
know.
Yeah, you also start with that spell that seems to not do anything.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not. I'm pressing the spell buttons and nothing is happening.
yeah, originally it seemed like a stomp, and I was like, oh, maybe I can do like AOE damage or maybe a stun. A stun would be really great that I could maybe interrupt, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Um, Also, it's a roguelike with meta progression, which is sort of our bread and butter here. Um, but man, this game feels like it has nothing unlocked at the beginning. Like every time you
Uh-huh.
pick up a piece of armor or a weapon, until you unlock anything, you have like 1 armor, 1 ring, and 1 weapon. And that doesn't feel super rewarding when I feel like both of the attacks, because you kind of have like, I don't want to call it a light and heavy, you kind of have like a 1 and 2 attack. um
Yeah.
Both of them for everything I'm picking up feels really slow. Like if I have a one-handed sword, I kind of want that thing to get some slashing going, and it feels more deliberate than that, which feels a little bit frustrating early days.
Yeah, and then there's the whole charge the secondary attack thing. I will admit I did find a killer sword that
Yeah.
was it had an ice attack on it, and then
Oh,
literally every single person I hit, what you call it, it froze
like
them.
the wow. Okay. That's pretty solid. I found one that had a poison blade on it, so everybody I hit would get poisoned. That was pretty good because you can kind of hit 2 or 3 people at once, and that was hit them a couple times, run away, and kind of keep going.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
I
Blue River.
I don't know so far about this one. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's I part of the difficulty I'm having here is it's kind of hard to tell what it's going for. Because like, is it trying to be a more deliberate kind of Souls-like combat system, but it doesn't have a lock on? Is it trying to be kind of a hack and slash, but it's not fast or fluid enough to do that? Um, it's not really a puzzle game because moving all the pieces around the river, you never really run into any puzzles that are that complicated. It's like, oh, I gotta move this one to move this one to move that one to get up. Like you're kind of
Yeah.
just like shuffling them around. Like you're at a party and you're moving someone's car out of the driveway. Um, and I don't know. I feel like I'm in the same boat you're in, where it's like this seems like maybe you got a couple cool ideas in here. Seems like you have an idea of what you're going for, but very early on where we are, it doesn't seem like they're gelling yet. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I don't know if that's a case of the game is just being iffy right now, or
right,
like, is this an us not understanding the game, or is this a the game not being well, not
right,
being good, I should say.
right,
Like,
right, right. Yeah, so I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time with it this week. My schedule got away from me completely this week, and I'm hoping to kind of sit down. I feel like this of more so than a lot of other games we've played. I feel like I need to sit down with it for like an hour in one sitting and just play as much as I can and get as many runs as I can and get as many of the like weapons and armor unlocked from that one guy that has like the unlock tree, and see if I can find a weapon in there that I kind of click with, because I'm
mhm.
hoping maybe that's the kind of next step of like, oh, okay, now that I've got this thing, all right, it's all starting to come together. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Any final thoughts here on Loot River Week One?
I don't know. It should be interesting. Let's see if it clicks or not, I guess is the thing.
Yeah, could be a month of not clicking, and certainly wouldn't be the first time that it happened, and probably not the last. But
Mhm.
we're gonna give it the old shot, the old we roguelike it shot here.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Boy.